Julian Hartman slammed the taxi door behind him, his heart pounding as the city lights of San Francisco blurred past. He had just landed from a grueling Tokyo business trip, exhausted but expecting a quiet birthday at his penthouse. He opened the door and froze. Vanessa was kissing Marcus Hale, his best friend, his business partner. Time seemed to stop. Shock. Disbelief. His chest tightened, memories of their 8-year marriage, the laughter, the late-night talks, the dreams they'd built together, crashed down in an instant. Vanessa's eyes widened in panic. Marcus froze mid-smile, but Julian didn't move. He didn't yell. He didn't confront them. Not yet. He simply breathed, focusing every ounce of his control on one thing: strategy. The clock was ticking. Guests would arrive for the birthday party any minute, and Julian couldn't let anyone see the storm inside him. He straightened his suit, plastered a calm smile, and stepped out as if nothing had happened. Inside, he vowed silently, he would handle this on his own terms. The party began. Vanessa laughed at jokes Julian barely heard. Marcus hovered awkwardly. Julian acted cheerful, masking the betrayal burning inside. Every toast, every clinking glass reminded him of the deception, yet he kept his composure. Calm. Strategic. In that moment, Julian realized he had the power, not them. Later that night, Julian sat alone in his office. The city lights shimmered through the windows. He picked up the phone and called his legal team. Prenuptial agreements, business shares, subtle maneuvers, everything was being set into motion. Vanessa thought she had won, that her charm and Marcus's loyalty would shield her. Julian smiled thinly, knowing she had no idea how carefully he had planned every move. Weeks turned into months. Julian threw himself into work, therapy, and reflection. Every session, every quiet night spent journaling, running through the city streets, or meditating, strengthened him. He refused to let betrayal define him. Pain had been sharp, but it had taught him clarity, focus, and resilience. He began to notice small joys again: the sunrise over the bay, the laughter of strangers on the street, the quiet hum of his office late at night. Each moment reminded him that life could still be beautiful if he chose to embrace it fully. It was at a charity gala, months later, that Julian first saw Lila Donovan. She wasn't dazzled by his wealth, she wasn't impressed by his fame. She cared about justice, about people, about truth. Julian felt something he hadn't in years: real curiosity, real connection. Her laughter, grounded confidence, and unwavering principles drew him in. Weeks passed, and they worked side by side on community projects and legal initiatives. Julian found himself laughing, opening up, trusting again. Lila's authenticity reflected everything he had lost with Vanessa. She valued truth over appearances, connection over status. Julian began to understand that love wasn't about perfection or wealth, it was about respect, shared values, and emotional honesty. One evening, after a long day at a charity event, Julian and Lila sat on a bench overlooking the city lights. He shared parts of his past: the betrayal, the heartbreak, the slow climb back to himself. Lila listened, her eyes steady and kind. She didn't judge. She didn't offer empty comfort. She simply understood. That understanding, that acceptance, sparked something Julian hadn't felt in a long time, a sense of belonging. Just weeks before his intimate wedding with Lila, Vanessa appeared again. Her eyes pleaded, her voice tried to charm. She wanted to reclaim what she never truly valued. Julian looked at her calmly, unwavering. "It was never love," he said. "You were never in this for us. You were in this for appearances, for wealth, for control. That's not my life anymore." Vanessa left, defeated, speechless. Julian turned toward his future. The wedding was simple but unforgettable. Close friends, family, and people who mattered most surrounded them. Lila smiled at Julian as they exchanged vows. He felt something rare: complete peace. Not just love, but the right kind of love, built on truth, respect, and authenticity. Every word spoken, every glance shared, felt like a promise that this life, finally, was real. 2 years later, Julian and Lila thrived. Their business ventures aligned with charity work and community impact. Vanessa attempted to reclaim influence, but without substance, her old glamour meant little. Julian didn't look back. The betrayal had been painful, yes, but it had redirected him to something far more valuable: true happiness. Julian reflected on the journey. Pain had been his teacher, strategy his armor, and truth his compass. He understood that life didn't give second chances to those who were unprepared. Healing wasn't instantaneous. Trust had to be rebuilt. But the reward, freedom, clarity, and genuine love, was worth every moment of struggle. He and Lila often reminisced about the journey that led them here. They laughed about small moments, shared plans for future projects, and dreamed about the difference they could make together. Julian realized that sometimes, the universe breaks you, not to punish you, but to redirect you to something far more meaningful. If you've ever been betrayed or felt like the world crashed down around you, remember Julian's story. Calm, strategy, and self-worth can turn heartbreak into empowerment. Life will test you, but the choices you make in the quiet moments, your resilience, your patience, your focus, will define the rest of your story. Julian and Lila laughed together in their sunlit office, planning projects that mattered, surrounded by people who valued truth over appearance. He thought back briefly to the moments of betrayal, and instead of bitterness, he felt gratitude. Not for the pain, but for what it had led him to: a life of authenticity, love, and impact. Every session of therapy, every late-night reflection, every careful decision had led to this. He had chosen himself. He had chosen truth. And he had chosen love, the right kind of love. The city lights glimmered outside, a reminder that life goes on, always offering new chapters, new chances, new connections. Julian smiled. Not because life had been fair, but because he had reclaimed it. He had built a life he would never compromise again. And in that quiet, steady joy, he understood something vital: betrayal doesn't break you. It simply shows you who you really are, and what you truly deserve. If Julian's journey moved you, make sure to like this video, subscribe for more gripping stories, and leave a comment below sharing how you would react if you were in his shoes. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss a story that will leave you on the edge of your seat.